I have gotten asked this question frequently by a lot of, especially younger anglers, getting into fishing, looking at reels to buy. What reel should I buy? And they usually the choices are: do I want like an SLX or Curado, or do I want an SLX or Curado DC reel? And I'm going to explain what you should choose, why you should choose it, which is better, and the differences between them, what makes them different. Is the DC really as good as people say it is? And we're going to talk about that in today's video. But before we get into today's video, at the time I'm recording this, which it may be a little bit different because this is a few days before I upload this video, we are almost out of stock on these, on the midges, the crankbait. These are one of the best crankbaits on the market right now. There's only two colors left. I don't have either of them. This color, I'm pretty sure, was out of stock. Both. This is the mustard craw color. The Norman color is also out of stock. The craw color is out of stock, but the two shad patterns are still in stock. So if you want to get some midge crankbaits, it's 4 to 6 foot diving crankbait. Just a fantastic bait. It's very similar. It's like to me, it's like a square bill and a flat sided crankbait. Had a baby and boom, you pop this thing out. This thing is incredible. If you don't want to miss out and get these before they sell out, because Lord knows when they'll restock again, make sure you head to bassmooch.com and pick your midges up before the stock runs out. But without further ado, let's get into it. So what I have here is this is kind of like a comparison video pretty much. So I have been using both of these reels. The Curado DC I got 2 years ago. The SLX I got a year and a half-ish ago, 18 months ago. So I've used them about the same. They're DC a little bit more than the SLX. I've took care of these reels, so they still are very functional to new, like very, very close to new. I oil them, I take care of them, make sure all the parts are clean, all the good stuff. I make sure I care for these reels so they're going to last, and they have lasted. They're fantastic reels. But is the DC reel really worth it? Is it worth the money? Because the SLX, if you don't know, this is $100 a reel. This is $100 reel. $100 is one of the best budget bait casters on the market. The Curado DC, on the other hand, is $270. It's a $270 reel, or you can get the SLX DC, which is $199.99, a $200 reel. But really, all it is just a normal Curado or a normal SLX with the little computer chip inside. It's called digital control brakes. That's why it's a DC. It controls your braking system for you pretty much, slows down the reel. It's supposed to help combat backlashes and help you throw lighter baits better. The main comparison I'm going to use is a fluke, because I have thrown flukes with this reel on this rod. So I've thrown flukes with this rod and that reel, and then I've thrown flukes with this rod and this reel, which is the combo that I have now. This is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action level NGX rod. What are the real differences between them? Price, obviously, there's a $170 difference between the two. The little computer chip, the noise, obviously, if you haven't heard the DC noise, I'll play a little clip for you. That's the main reason people want to buy this reel, is because it makes a cool noise whenever you catch it. The zing, and that's what it makes, and people like that, and they want to buy it. That's the main reason I bought it 2 years ago, because I was a freshman kid and I thought it was cool, so I bought it. That's a big difference. Materials are also a big difference. The SLX uses a little bit cheaper materials because it's a much cheaper reel. But to sum up the whole video for you, is the DC reel worth it? Is a Curado DC, is a SLX DC worth it over a regular SLX, a regular Curado? My answer is no. It is not worth it. Why do I say no? Because I have had, from what I can remember, I have had almost no, I fished a fluke with the SLX. I fished a fluke with the Curado. From what I can remember, they cast about the same distance Maybe the Curado may cast just a hair, maybe like a couple inches further than the SLX. And a fluke is a light bait. This is meant to cast lighter baits further. This casted it practically the same distance. Backlashes. Sure, I've had a few less backlashes, but it is not how it is advertised. Unless I just suck with making my settings for this thing. That is could also be just it just could be user error. But from what I remember, I get like the same amount of backlashes on the DC reel as I do on this reel. I don't know why. It may just because half the time I don't pay attention when my lure's hitting the water and I let the spool go and all the line comes off, whatever. But I still get a very similar amount of backlashes on these two reels whenever I'm fishing them. So those are the two big like players that are in contest here. Is this reel can cast lighter baits further and this reel can has less backlashes. Yes, it does, but you can't barely tell. So if you went and took 100 casts with the SLX and 100 casts with the Curado DC and you backlash the SLX 5 times, you may backlash this only 4 times. And that's how it is. If you tested your casting distance with a 1/4 ounce weight with this reel and you get 40 yards, you may get 41, 42 yards out of this reel. It is not a super large difference. And unless you are tournament fishing for a $45,000 million, I don't think this is necessary. This is not necessary. If you are a kid who goes and hops around the bank, beats around on a boat for fun, there is no need for this to waste your money on this. It is $170. I wish I would have put into another one of these reels and then some. I don't think this was necessary, in my opinion. Sure, there's been times where this reel has outperformed this reel. Absolutely. Not barely a difference that I can tell. I don't think it's worth it because it has the same performance. It obviously higher quality materials. If you're a guy that wants the sound or the materials, yeah, if you care about a sound of the reel that much, sure, buy it. If you just want to hear the zing all the time, buy it. If that's what you want. That's what I wanted whenever I was 14 years old, so I bought it. Now I don't care. Sometimes it gets annoying because you just sit there with it in your ear. If you're on a good crankbait bite and you're cranking a bunch of rip-rop banks, and all you're hearing is zing, 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 zing for 4 hours, it's annoying. You get annoying after a while. I've had people say that to me that have fished with me as well. It's like, that thing's annoying. But it is an appeal. I'll give you that. It definitely makes you want to, ooh, I want that. And that's what it did for me. But is it worth it if you were looking to get either or? If you're like, I don't know which one to get. I don't know if I want to waste my money. Just don't. Unless you really just want the noise. Or unless you just really, really want the extra yard or two of casting distance and the one less backlash you're going to get a trip. If that really matters to you that much, go for it. If it doesn't, just purchase an SLX, purchase a loose speed spool, purchase something that's not $270. It's ridiculous. I'm a big sticko on there's no need to spend a ton of money on reels. There's, especially bait casters. Bait casters, you don't use the drag system much. The really only difference you're going to get is materials, and maybe the braking system is going to be a little bit different on some, like the new Luz Custom Pro. It's got that new, that magnet, Paramag ITB braking system or whatever. That thing looks pretty cool, and it probably functions very similar to this, maybe a little bit better because reviews I've seen. But I still don't think, unless you are a BFL fisherman or above, I don't think it is super necessary to spend the extra money just to get the one less backlash and the extra yard of casting distance. I don't think it's necessary. That's just my opinion, though. Spinning reels, it's a little bit different story. No, it's not a different story. I lied. I'm not spending over $100 on a spinning reel. I'm not going to do it. But I would say if you were going to spend more money on a reel, I would spend more money on a spinning reel because a spinning reel's drag is very important. You want a good drag system on a spinning reel, but you can absolutely find budget reels like The level LSR1, it's like around $130. It's got a great drag system on it, great materials, and it's a beefy reel. It is a little bit extra money, but you're able to tell where the money's there. You're able to tell that, oh, this has a better drag system. This has a better materials use. It's tougher. It's got more ball bearings in it. The other two spinning reels I have are $50. The Shimano Nexave and the Daiwa Regal LT. They have great drag systems. They're $50. There's no need to spend more than that if you're just like, especially if you're just looking to beat around the bank. If you're fishing for big money, absolutely go spend your money on Shimano Stellas or whatever you want. There's no need to spend a ton of money. Like, I still lose very, very few fish on my spinning setups. And I fish with low dollar reels. I don't fish with the high dollar stuff. There's no need for it. I'm a big budget dude. If you're going to spend more money on anything, I'd spend that on a rod. If you have $300 and if you're thinking about buying a $200 rod and a $100 reel, go for it. I would do that. The rod is definitely more important than the reel because you will definitely feel the difference in a rod over the reel. And that is definitely something you should look into. If you're thinking about buying a $50 Shimano SLX rod and a Curado DC, you're just wasting your money. There's going to be minimal difference between this and a $100 reel, but there's going to be a lot of difference between that and a level NGX, for example. So I want you to think about that. But if you are looking to buy a combo, spend more money on the rod, if you're looking just to get a reel, unless you are a pro fisherman that absolutely cares about the sound or that one less backlash a trip and all that stuff, don't spend your money. Definitely the short answer is, I'm just going to put a scenario, which I already have, but I'm going to repeat it because it's important. If you have $300 and you walk into Bass Pro or you're shopping online looking for a new rod and reel combo to purchase, bait cast combo, we'll say that, and you were originally thinking of a expensive reel and a cheap rod, you were in the wrong. A cheap rod, you will miss bites. Fish will bite and you will miss it because you won't be able to feel it. They're not as durable. You may set your hook on a big one and it might snap. And with the expensive reel, yeah, it's going to handle that. But if you buy an expensive rod and a cheaper reel, but more budget reel, you would feel those extra bites. You wouldn't have to worry about your rod breaking as easy unless you use St. Croix. And you still can get fish in the boat with a budget reel. There's a lot of pro fishermen that aren't sponsored by a reel company that have a bunch of SLX reels on the boat because they don't need anything else. It's a good reel that you shouldn't need to buy any other reel because it gets the job done. If you really just absolutely need the bells and whistles, have it. But SLX has plenty of bells and whistles in it already. Why do you spend your money on extra? So, but that's my opinion. DC reels are not worth it. But if you did enjoy this video and you want more like it, please hit the like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. We will have more fishing content of being on the water, fishing, catching fish next week, hopefully. I haven't recorded it yet. As long as we catch some fish, we'll be in the clear. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit the like button. That would be greatly appreciated. Also hit the subscribe button if you are new. Make sure you go check out all the other social medias, the TikTok, the Instagram, the Facebook, and I got on Threads. I don't know nothing about Threads, but I got on it, and we're going to try to figure it out. But go follow me on those platforms, and we will catch you guys in the next one.